Squaresoft at their strangest. This is Racing Lagoon, a high-speed driving RPG from 1999, as the game proudly proclaims on its title screen. Modern racing games have more RPG elements than you initially suspect, but RPGs are usually, and probably thankfully, 100% devoid of racing. This game never made it overseas, and it was widely panned in the Japanese gaming press, so Square, since they were already experiencing some financial instability, decided it was best to keep it in Japan. Keep in mind, this is just 4 years away from their merger with Enix. So for the story, JRPGs are very story focused, and sadly a fan translation of this game does not exist. I don't speak Japanese, so I can't speak on the story much. However, the good news is that this game is quite English friendly. Most of the menus and important names are written in English and even capitalized for convenience. The cutscenes are also pretty good at giving a general vibe of what's going on, so if you're intimidated by non-localized JRPGs, I would say this one you shouldn't be that scared away from, especially if you love both of the genres. This is truly the illegitimate love child of Gran Turismo and a Square RPG. The world map is traversed in your car, random battles are replaced by actual races, your loot and experience comes with car upgrades, and that brings the first critique, is that Racing Lagoon doesn't do either thing especially well, but both aspects of the game are reasonably serviceable. If you've played Gran Turismo 1, then you know what to expect starting out. Your car is slow, it handles poorly, and the wobbly PlayStation 1 graphics make it pretty challenging to know whether the upcoming turn is a right or a left. It can be pretty frustrating at first, but just like a JRPG, you really start to feel the improvements with each upgrade. There's a ridiculous number of car parts, body types, and modifications to experiment with, but I found it's best that you basically prioritize anything that increases your horsepower while keeping the weight at a minimum. So once that ride is pimped, there's an impressive amount of tracks, challenges, and race types to tackle. And you'll face off against cars ripped straight from road and track. Celicas, 3000 GTs, Skylines, there's even a Camaro, despite none of them carrying their actual names, as that costs a little bit of money. Simply put, the soundtrack is an unheralded classic of the PlayStation era. As with the gameplay, the music also attempts to meld Square's traditional wheelhouse with the sound that worked for Gran Turismo. This produces a perfect jazz fusion blend that's heavy on synth and bass. Coupled with the stylish visuals, it's quite the treat. But as far as sound design goes, the sound effects leave a lot to be desired. The engines have no bite, and running headfirst into a wall gives a very limp thud, for example. In general, you rarely hear sound effects, which is a little bit strange. This game is dripping with style. Whether that is a style you like or not is the question. Every aspect of the game is stylized. There's deformed characters, outfits and menus. It's a pre-Vaporwave city design, everything. It honestly feels a little bit ahead of its time. Due to probably needing most of the disk space for the racing aspect of the game, the cutscenes are rendered in pictures with about 3 frames of animation. Instead of that being a negative, it honestly fits the style of the game perfectly. If you're not into the nearly comedic character designs and outfits, it's understandable, but at worst, they're entertaining. Overall, this game caught me by surprise. If a game is quality and never saw an international release, it usually gets a fair amount of discussion. Even some terrible games get fan translations in this day and age. Since I had never heard a single thing about this game until last week, I sort of expected the worst. But if you're looking for a unique and stylish game to play to take your mind off 2020, look no further.